Hello and welcome to the building blog of the Svenson Jungmeister. So I've made a start on the wings and I thought it was prudent to begin with the centre section. And as you can see here, it's glued together and pinned down. The main strength of the wing, in fact all of the strength of the wing really, comes from these spruce spars. And they splice in to the panels, the wing panel spars, and there are 1, 2, 3, and these spars here on the main wing are a bigger cross section. So I think there'll be an awful lot of strength in the structure itself. I've drilled through some holes, access holes, to allow the aileron cables to pass through, because I intend to operate 2 separate servos to drive the ailerons rather than one single servo with a bell crank. I just think there's far more opportunity for slop to be introduced into the system if one uses this approach. So overall it's an odd approach in the sense that you have to feed the spars through the ribs, rather than setting them down or setting the ribs on a lower spar that's pinned in place. So it's quite interesting doing that. What seems to be a sloppy tolerance turns out to be a much tighter tolerance when you're lining up all the spars. They're pinned down at the rear and just weighted down. Well, in fact, they don't even need any weight at the front. They're nice and flat, there's no movement in them. I intend on putting the undercarriage block in retrospect rather than trying to pack it up. I'm going to epoxy that into place, and I might actually add some additional strengthening. One peculiar feature that I haven't worked out the purpose for, I'm sure there must be one, is that where you have 2 ribs joining the centre section to the main panel, there are these peculiar cutouts that are added in to the front of each rib. Now, I don't know the purpose of those. I haven't worked out why they might be necessary. I'm sure there is one. Perhaps when I start building the main panels, it'll become more evident why they're necessary. But as you can see here, 2 spars here meet up with the spars on the wing panel which pass through this rib and the other rib on the panel itself and are spliced in this position. So that's all to come. So far so good. I've enjoyed putting this together. As I say, it's a little bit peculiar threading the spars through the ribs, but I've managed to do that. There are gussets to add and a number of strengthening pieces to add, and the front shaped leading edge to put in. But up to now, so far so good. I'm rather pleased with that. Bye for now.